Dapat na nga bang i-trade ng Clippers si Blake Griffin at sino kaya ang pwede nilang hingin nakapalit para may complement ang Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan tandem? Para sa usapan niyan, kasama natin ang basketball analyst na si Enzo Flojo. Enzo, again, welcome to The Score. Interesting topic ito, no, Enzo? Very controversial. It all started dahil nga dun sa, yun yung nag-ignite, yung pagsuntok, yung incident na yun. Pero ikaw, sa tingin mo, you've been following the NBA, tingin mo karapat dapat bang i-trade ng Clippers itong si Blake Griffin? First of all, anong klaseng talent ba tong si Blake Griffin na to?
Well, syempre si Blake Griffin at his best, at his healthiest, he is maybe one of the top 5 players in the league, no? As recently as about 2 seasons ago, he was really neck and neck sa MVP race. So if he's really at his full potential, he could be in the same conversation as Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, those kinds of players. No, he's a type of player na you can build your team around him, and with the right mix, he could probably be the cornerstone of a championship contender. Having said that, parang at face value, it doesn't make sense for the Clippers to trade Blake Griffin at face value.
Okay.
But may certain, parang if you look at the Clippers now and how far they've come, parang you get the feeling na they've become stagnant, they've reached a certain level na hindi na sila makakalampas doon unless they take a risk or they talagang bulabugin na yung buong roster nila.
I mean, nabasa ko article, si Blake Griffin is a type of player who averages 25, 10, and 8. And there are only a few players, Oscar Robertson, Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, na ganun yung ina-average numbers. And he's only 26 years old with about a year remaining in his contract. Tama ba, tingin mo ba na siya yung pinaka-magandang trade asset nila at this point?
Well, he seems very attractive because of his numbers nga, no? And kung ikaw yung Clippers, etong guy na to, kahit sobrang galing nito, even if he's maybe the best player on my team, he could be gone in a year's time and we get nothing, you know, if he walks. So, mapapaisip ka rin, should we trade him and get something in return now or risk having him play but seeing him leave in 2017? That's one of the big conundrums na talagang pinag-iisipan ng Clippers management right now.
Similar yan dun sa Kevin Love situation in Minnesota that they opted to trade him a year early before he left. Pero yun nga, what do you think, ano yung reason kung bakit despite yung absence itong si Blake Griffin, the Clippers were still able to manage, I think, an 18-4 record during his absence?
Yes, so the Clippers surprisingly have still played really, really well. They're sitting pretty at 4th place in the Western Conference. I think they have a 5-game lead over Memphis for 4th spot. So they're actually in a very good position right now. And that's because si Griffin kasi, he takes up a lot of space in the paint for LA. So now that he's gone, si DeAndre Jordan, mas maraming espasyo around the basket.
Correct.
Yung 2-man pick and roll nila ni Chris Paul is working better right now. Guys like JJ Redick have been playing well also for the Clippers. So that's the main reason they're doing well. But moving forward, if they make the playoffs, which looks like will probably happen, sige, they can probably get past the first round. But against the teams like San Antonio, OKC, Golden State, I don't think may patutunguhan tong Clippers with their current lineup, especially without Griffin there.
Yun yung big dilemma nila, no. Siguro kung if they were in the Eastern Conference, they would not be thinking of that type of scenario right away. Pero ngayong nasa West sila, they need to shake things up a bit, kumbaga, for them to get past that. Pero ikaw personally, Enzo, tingin mo ba na they have to risk, they have to go for broke dito sa kay the Griffin trade at this point in the season to really make a play for the NBA Finals?
Well, I'm not sure if Clippers fans will agree with me, especially our friend Antonio Rojas, who's a very big Clippers fan. But again, if you're the Clippers, you have to parang think Chris Paul is turning 31 this year. DeAndre Jordan is in his prime. Guys like JJ Redick, Paul Pierce aren't getting any younger as well. So the window for you to actually remain as a title contender, it's really shrinking. So if I were the Clippers, I would shake things up and get.
You would
take that risk. Shake things up. Think short term, win now, and then satisfy my fans and try to maximize that small window. Kasi if you wait for Blake Griffin, he's gonna be back maybe in like 3-4 weeks maybe. He might not be 100%. He'll probably lose again early in the playoffs, and Griffin might still walk after next season. So parang yung risk of that happening, mas nakakagambala para sa akin eh.
Okay.
So if I were the Clippers, I take the other path, which is trade Griffin for a good set of players coming in, have a good chance of winning now, and then maybe setting myself up again for a good run in the next couple of seasons.
Actually, medyo sinagot mo yung next question ko, Enzo. I was going to ask you if you're going to trade Blake Griffin, do you trade him for a superstar now and try to win, or do you trade him for a less of a superstar but a few more key players and try to build long term? Sabi mo nga, you're going to go for a superstar now. So, ang next question ko doon, sino yung mga teams that can figure in that trade scenario, and sino yung mga superstar players that can figure in a trade with Blake Griffin? Well,
ideally, the Clippers should be able to, for someone like Blake Griffin, they should get someone who can contribute now, but at the same time have enough, leg room for the future. And pinaka-ideal for me, although this is, feeling ko malabo to, no? Pero
sige, hypothetical,
no? The most ideal trade for the Clippers would be trading away Blake Griffin, getting Chris Bosh, getting maybe someone like Justice Winslow from Miami as well. Chris Bosh is someone who's a perfect fit for the way Miami plays. No? He shoots well from the outside, so he will not have any spacing problems with DeAndre Jordan and Chris Paul. And with Justice Winslow, he solves their depth at the wing position. And by shipping Griffin out, that means they might have enough space pa, especially with the new CBA kicking in next season. They might have enough space to get more players, more role players for the foreseeable future.
So kino-consider mo rin dyan yung salary cap space that they free up by getting Chris Bosh and Justice Winslow. Although yung Justice Winslow hindi pa sure thing yan, rookie player pa yan, and although he has a lot of potential, still is a bit risky against a sure thing like Blake Griffin. Ngayon naman, if you were Blake Griffin and you were sure to be traded by dito ng Clippers na to, anong team tingin mo yung magiging perfect fit para sa game ni Blake Griffin?
Well, if I were Blake Griffin, I'd want to go to a team na ako yung magiging cornerstone nila.
Okay.
Kasi, to be quite honest, sa totoo lang, si Blake Griffin talaga, siya yung type of player na, again, you're gonna build around him and he can be the cornerstone of a very, very good team. I also want to go to a team that is a big market team. Para hindi ko naiisipin, okay, pag naging free agent ako, aalis pa ba ako? Or dito na lang din ako. So if I were Blake Griffin, maybe Miami would be a good choice.
Okay.
Maybe New York as well.
Okay.
So straight up Carmelo Anthony for Blake Griffin deal. That would be a very, very big blockbuster headline-making deal. No? And I think it would benefit both sides. Imagine mo lang Blake Griffin playing with Kristaps Porzingis. That'd be a very interesting front line if you're a New York fan. And then Carmelo Anthony playing with Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan with Doc Rivers as the coach. That'd be a very intriguing team that could win right now as well.
Ito, hypothetical, Enzo. Blake Griffin for Kevin Durant. You think, what do you think? How do you weigh that trade? Who has the advantage? Who has the disadvantage? Do you think there is a possibility?
That would be an even more, head-turning trade, no? Kasi Kevin Durant, definitely an MVP candidate right now in the season. He's going to be one of the biggest free agents in 2017. If that happens, I think it'll be good for the Clippers, and I think Blake Griffin might be a good fit for Oklahoma as well. Kasi nakita natin ngayon si Kevin Durant and si Russell Westbrook, they're both very ball-dominant players at the perimeter. So, yun ang nagkakaproblemang OKC doon pag kalaban nila yung mga elite teams na. If you bring Blake Griffin in that equation, iba yung laro ni Griffin kay Durant. So, he might be a better fit for OKC. Ang magiging concern ko lang dyan, where will Enes Kanter be in that kind of situation? Kasi he plays the same position as Blake
Serge
Griffin.
Ibaka.
Yes.
Okay, daming scenarios, daming possibilities. Going to be a very interesting stretch towards the end of the trade deadline. But as always, Enzo, thank you for the insights. Thanks for guesting on the show.
Thanks, Marco.